Right, let's see. What makes family difficult? Let's see. Let's say it that way. Communication. Getting this poll question here. Okay, what makes family difficult? Get my poll question. Y'all give me 1 second. Let's see. Respect. Family. All right, we're getting it up. We're getting it up. All right, boom. Apex Legend, what's up? How you doing, man? All right, boom, we good. Are you a subscriber, Rory? I only give shout outs to my subscribers, bro. Sorry. I'm gonna just take your word for it, man. Shout out to Rory Moore in the building. What's up, babe? I'm gonna take your word for it. Make sure you hit that like button, Rory. Let's go. Make sure I see all my people. Give them a chance to come on in. Come on in, man. Apex, I'm doing good, man. How you doing? I'm doing pretty good, man. Just getting some breakfast rolling. Mr. White, what's going on? Stefan, how you doing? Your girl Kay, I see you. How you doing? Apex, you getting ready for bed? Where you from? Mr. White, how you doing? Shout out to the Grow Gang this morning, man. Good to see y'all. Hope y'all doing well. Somebody asked a question yesterday about family life, so everybody talking about family a lot. You know what I mean? I say, you know what, man? Let's go ahead and talk about it, man. Let's go ahead and talk about it. Are you from Australia? Shout out to Australia. Apex, I got a couple people that come by my channel that's Australian. So shout out to you, man. You know what I'm saying? Lucas, I see you. Not sure what you're saying, but I see you. Summit? What is Summit? Now, I appreciate you, Apex. Carl Triplet. Shout out to St. Louis, man. How's the weather over there, Carl? The weather's good? Appreciate you, Apex. By the way, if you're saying something weird, I'm not going to respond. So you might want to use your brain because I want to talk to the people with brains today. Summit from India. Shout out to India, man. So let's get breakfast rolling, man. It's another beautiful day, another opportunity to be the best version of yourself. Hot today. Says you can. Okay. Hot today, weather 75. Yeah, Carl, that's hot, man. At Apex, you're a cool person, man. You good, man. You good, bro. You good. I'm just talking to the people with brains today, man. I got to give the trolls a rest because we got family business, man. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about why are families so difficult. A lot of people are dealing with family issues. And a person says, well, man, what does that have to do with fitness? A whole lot, man. Because you know what? Truth be told, what you think is what you become. What you think is what you become, guys. I appreciate you, Summit. Apex, you're going to do that because you're already using your brain at a young age, man. Keep going, Apex. Come to India. I got a buddy that lives in India, so I may have to come there one day, man. I got a good buddy that lives in India, man. I don't know when, but I'm just saying. Somebody help out. Yeah, he's malfunctioning. Somebody help him out. Woke up this morning and his brain didn't wake up with him, y'all. Australia, what's the best place to visit in Australia, Nighthawk or Apex? Apex, what's the best place to visit in Australia? All right, so we got the eggs there. Boom. All right. So I'm gonna scramble. No over easy eggs today. We're gonna scramble these bad boys today. What is Lucas saying? What's up, Lucas? Please, please. What am I doing? What am I pleasing? So I'm gonna go ahead and visit the poll question and see. Some people say Sydney. I heard a lot about Sydney. I think most people talk about it. That's the capital, right? Mike Hawk. I'm gonna be cooking some eggs. Yep. Lots of theme parks. I gotta keep that in mind, man. One day I'll be blessed to do a world tour. You know what I'm saying? Lucas, stop asking me to blink my eye, bro. Like, come on. If I blink my eye, will you use your brain? If I blink my eye, will you use your brain? We could do an exchange. Amber Light. Love it, Amber Light. Welcome to the Breakfast Club where we eat breakfast, but we also eat wisdom, yo. Let's go. So come on in, man. We joining the conversation of what makes family difficult, yo. Anybody want to start the conversation off? Because right now we got 15 poll votes, and the leading part of the difficulty is communication, y'all. Do you agree? Do you agree that communication is the biggest difficulty in family? Is it communication? What do y'all think? Sketcher, top of the morning to you, Sketcher. You agree? You think it's selfish people? Why do you agree, Apex, that it's communication? Mike Hawk, why do you think that it's selfish people? Give me your reasoning. And then once you give me your reasoning, I got a follow-up question for you. I got a good follow-up question. You try to communicate and sometimes they don't listen. I got you. I got you. I got you. Now let me ask you this, Apex. Are you a good listener, Apex? Are you a good listener yourself? That's a good question. I think money. Some family members are selfish and they don't like to see anyone do better. Amber Light, you're right about that. You're right about that. So I guess it would be a combination of selfishness, money, right? Um, one, two, three, four, five. Let me go six because I got to give some to the baby queen and the mama queen. I'm wearing a little bracelet baby queen got me for Father's Day, yo. It say daddy. And in the inside it says, I will always be your little girl. So when she get in her teens, I'm gonna show it to her. All right, let me catch up with the comments. People actually don't know how hard it is to cook breakfast and read comments. It's a skill. Elvis, we're not talking about females. Read the poll question. Janan, what's up? How you doing? Welcome back to the Breakfast Club. They put demands on you but never give back gaslights. Hey, Mike Hawk, you're right about that. Accountability is almost uh accountability is almost like obsolete nowadays. People don't like accountability, guys. Uh People don't like to be called out on not following through what they said. Uh Elvis P. I think we made a mistake on Elvis P. Netcha. He's talking about the bracelet. He was saying that it's nice that your girl got you that. I think we made a mistake on Elvis P. So if you can, try to restore him. Because so far, he ain't say nothing bad. Hey, we see you back from Morocco, man. Shout out to Morocco. You know what I mean? So I'm going to keep the eggs super simple. Some black pepper, a little garlic salt, nothing too crazy. Respect. Just because you're related to me doesn't mean you can be disrespectful. Oh, I like that. Viking woman comes in swinging, yo. She didn't even give us no warning. All right. So I think when we talk about family, right? Let me ask you guys this. Do you think because your family is your family, right? Do you think that there's a level of comfortability where they show more respect to a stranger than they show to their actual family? What y'all think? Do you think they get uh too comfortable at the simple fact that we're family? We're family, so it's all good. Like if I don't treat that person good today, I'm gonna see them tomorrow. That kind of thing. We got to teach the young to not give respect to hypocrite. Hey, Mike Hawk, you're right about that. Respect is earned, y'all. Respect is earned. I'm a good listener. Your communication is hard in any type of relationship, especially family. Uh, it's difficult. So let me ask you a question, Apex. What are some better ways, or how can we learn to communicate, Apex? That's a question for you. Mrs. Sketch says, I think that's exactly the reason they disrespect. They think you owe them a relationship. That is very, very true, you guys. That's very true. By the way, Doors and Netch, is my music too loud in the back? Is my music too loud? They think you too dumb to realize they're playing you. Mike Hawk, you are speaking too many facts this early, bro. You should have gave us a warning. You should have gave us a warning. But it's true. Sometimes they don't realize that you're smart too, right? Everybody's not trying to play the game. Some people are actually trying to grow, right? I'm doing pretty good, Doors. I think it's been Janan, you're right about that. It can cause problems. You're right about that. But I think healthy relationship with family is not making a chance. Communication is 100% important. 100%. It's perfect. Good, good. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. So I think when we come to the internet, right? A lot of times we don't realize that we're making connections that are almost family-like. You know what I'm saying? We're on the other side of the globe, but we care about each other. If we don't see each other for a while, we're like, man, where is this person at? So I think when it comes to family, I think everybody is looking for community, and I think community is it can be easy, but it's not also easy. Valdini, I see you. I'm trying to. I got you, Apex. Well, you're so young, so it's a little harder to navigate when you're so young. But I will say this: use it as a launch pad to create independency when you get older. That's what I would do. I would use it as a launch pad to create independency for when I'm older. You know what I'm saying? Create that independency for when you're older. That way, um, you can have that space. I know for a fact when when you make your own money, when you make your own money and you got your own space, family respects you more because they're like, this person don't need me. Sometimes when family feels like you need them, the disrespect is a little more brutal because it's like, hey, you ain't got nowhere to go. You gotta be here. You gotta listen to this. You know what I'm saying? But I think if we keep growing and we keep growing, I think we create a level of independency, right? And when you're independent, people act different when you're independent, yo. Oh yeah, people act different when you do your own thing and you don't need them for anything. They act different. Now, what does that say for me and you? That says that we need to create a level of growth within ourselves so that we're not dependent upon people. You know what I'm saying? I can't respect anybody who respects me more for being independent. Mike, you're right about that, but you can't control how they respect you. All you can do is control how you respond to it. I think independence is a great response, even if you're not there yet. Building independence, guys. You know, you may not have it now, but you can build independence to the level where it puts a space in between the people. Uh, so that means I'm allowed to use those people. What do you mean use those people? What do you mean by you're allowed to use those people? What do you mean by that? Exactly. My sister always lived in Brisbane. Now mom calls her all the time when she lived here. Hey, there you go, Apex. You see that little distance kind of made her relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's like the little distance kind of made the person take a step back and say, you know what? I can't just treat them that way because I don't see them all the time no more. But if they see you all the time and they already have a lack of respect, I think that it just illuminates the lack of disrespect. So I think you have to work on developing independence. I think there's also a lot of lessons that you can learn from your situation when you're growing up. John Peter, what's up? Okay, bro, I see you. You get what I'm saying? But let's look at the poll question. The poll question says respect is the number one difficulty of family. Does anybody disagree that it's respect? You understand? Distance makes the heart fonder, guys. So when there's distance between people, um, what will happen is the person will respect your presence more because they don't see you as often. You understand what I'm saying? C7, top of the morning. All right, so let's get to it, guys. Let's get to it. Nate Soflo, shout out to you, bro. What's up? What's up? I'm doing good, John Peter. So now that we talked about what makes family difficult, right? Now we're going to talk about what makes family healthy. And it's not even just family. I would love to say it's more like relationships. What makes relationships healthy? Okay? Because a family is just a big relationship, right? That's really what it is. A family is a big relationship, guys. People people who only respect me because I'm independent are hypocrites and bad people. That makes it okay. Well, Mike Hawk, you don't think that there's something to be respected about independence, bro? I think independence and working with your hands to do something for yourself, for your family, I think that's healthy, bro. I don't think that being independent is a bad thing. You understand what I'm saying? Got you, Nechi. I forgot. I didn't know he was one of those accounts, but it's all good. I mean, it's kind of funny in a weird way. But yeah, independence should not be frowned upon, guys. I don't think it should be frowned upon. I think independence is healthy. You know what I'm saying? Valdinia, okay, I see you. Fourth wall, what's up, brother? Everybody really realizes when they have a toxic family, the family is still very important. Um, yes, but at the same time, like if you have a toxic family and they only bring you down, how is that a good thing? You know what I'm saying? When I go around my family, I feel bad. When I'm not with my family, I feel better. How is that still a good thing? Now, this is what I will say. You can create another family, depending on what age you are. You can create a new family. You follow what I'm saying? You can do that in a relationship. Poor communication makes friends different. I agree with that, Doris. I agree with that. Respect. Okay. C7, I see you. All right. So let's transition to what makes a family healthy. All right. Let's transition to what makes a family healthy. Right. Right. So we already talked about respect being something that makes it hard or difficult for families to kind of have peace and harmony, if you will. But what makes a family, go ahead and spit out what makes a family healthy? Or what do you think is the number one thing that makes a family healthy? Because what if you're communicating, but you're not communicating with respect, right? Can you get around that respect word? I don't know if you can get around it. Because again, what if you're communicating, but you're not communicating respectfully? Yeah, stubborn family doesn't grow. Mike says, so Mike, are you saying that independence is not respectful? A lot of people say love. What does love look like, guys? Love and respect. So everybody's saying love, right? I have two sons. I just got divorced in last week. She was a toxic person. Yeah, totally get you. I totally get you. So let me ask you guys a question. What does love mean to you? A lot of people talk about love, but what does love mean to you? You know what I'm saying? What does love mean to you? Because everybody has a different definition. And I think that if we all have a different definition of respect and love, I think that we'll always talk past each other. You understand what I'm saying? If respect and love are different in definition from everybody, You know what I mean? There's some people that think abuse is love. So we got to define what love is, y'all. I think that's a communication issue. Everybody has different definitions, and we never come together to say, "Hey, what is your definition on love?" We just throw it around. I love. Well, I love you, girl. You know I love you. You know the chick for about a week, and you're already in love. Come on, stop it. Love is being there to listen. Okay, but what if you're there to listen? What if you're there to listen, um, but you're listening to respond and you're not listening to understand? You know what I'm saying? Just out of curiosity. Some people love meth. You're right about that. Is that true love? You know, someone's opinion, it should make you happy for that person, but it shouldn't decide your level of respect for the person. It should make you happy. Does anybody agree with Mike that if you're independent, it shouldn't make you respect the person more? I think independence comes with respect, though, Mike. I think so. I think independence comes with respect. I do think so. Lack of strong, proper relationship, parents not consulting each other. Hey, Janan, I totally hear you, and you're right about that. Love is something that's nurturing and understood. It's understood. Okay. 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 Net, you don't start. Which can mostly make the father. I agree with that. I agree with that. Love is doing things to make your partner happy. I think that's agreeable too. But I think love can be a little deeper, because this is the thing. When you talk about when you talk about making your partner happy, um, I think that partner also has to have love within themselves. I disagree that you can fulfill what your partner needs 100%. I feel like part of it is internal. I'll give you an example. If a person doesn't have peace within their life, right, you can't be their peace if they don't have it within themselves as well. You can help them find their peace, but I don't think you as a physical person can be just their peace. You know why? Because what's going to happen is as soon as you make a mistake, and you will, now their peace is gone. And nobody can live like that. If your peace is contingent all upon one other person, you don't have peace, guys. You know what I'm saying? Because as soon as that person changes up, your peace is gone. You know what I'm saying? For me, love is a deep, unconditional connection that goes beyond words. It's treating someone's happiness as your own. Patience, chaos, trust. Wow, that's deep. That's deep right there, Doris. Agape love. I agree with you. I agree with you, Nate Soflo. Uh, you know what I rarely ever see? What about accountability? What about taking accountability for yourself? What if everybody in their family, if they all took accountability for what they do to make the relationship not work? Everyone took accountability, I think we'll be all right. Okay, let's see. People are too unreliable to make them responsible for it. Correct. Human beings are too unreliable to make them responsible for your peace. I agree with that. Janan, I agree with that. Mike says there's nothing respectable in having a modern job. It's an all illusion. Okay, so what is respectable, Mike? Doing what makes you happy is respectable. Do you guys agree with Mike that doing what makes you happy is what's respectable? I think that's that might be a blanket statement, Mike. Do you guys think doing what makes you happy is what's respectable, not having independence? I think there's something to be said about having independence, guys. I could be wrong, but I think that there's something to be said about being able to do for yourself so that you don't have to rely on others to do it for you. I'm not saying I know everybody's situation is different, and I'm not saying everyone's capable currently. But what I am saying is, I think when you have that level of independence, you become a help to your family more so than anything. And I think helping your family is healthy. People, let me ask Mike this: if I'm going to work, right, you got to know what makes you happy, though. You're right about that. I agree with that, Nate Soflo. Valdini, I'm not sure what you're saying. I didn't say independence is not important. Okay. So you don't think independence is you don't think independence is a I'm still trying to understand like what you think. You're saying independence is important, but it shouldn't be respected. I don't understand that. I'm not understanding that. I mean, the good book say if you don't work, you don't eat. You know what I'm saying? If those that become sick and injured that lose their independence, I see it as a privilege more than an accomplishment. Sure, sure. I know there's different things that happen. People get injured, things happen. I totally get it. But I think that when you can bring something to the table, I think you should. When you can bring something to the table, I think that's healthy. Let me make sure baby queen got her stuff. She gonna be looking for it. Daddy, where's mine? You can't tell her you ate it all. That's not gonna work. All right, so we got that. Baby queen likes a little lamb with Papa. So we're gonna give her a little bit of that. Give her a slice of this sourdough. Family nowadays care more about social approval than healthy family. You're right about that. A lot of families do care more about how people view them more so than how they treat their family. You're right about that. You're right. So the thing about it is, now we're getting to the good part, guys. Now we're going to get to the good part. Mike says, I'm saying that money and all that makes a man like we're feed to believe it's brainwashing to turn people into workhorses. Mike, I think there is a healthy way of looking at money. I don't think you should look at money as a nothing else than a tool. Money is a tool. I think you should look at it as such. But anything more than a tool, I think it becomes idolatry. You start to look at money almost like a god. So I get that, but this is my thing. If you don't work, you don't eat, man. It's a part of life. So you have to adapt and make sure you have a healthy connection with it, so that you're not just work, 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 and you're actually living. I think I'm honoring your obligations and creating time and space for your loved ones is a healthy balance. I agree with that. I agree with that. Alicia Johnson, I see you. Welcome to the Breakfast Club. Got to drop this stuff off to. I need one of them little serving trays. You know what I'm saying? I need one of them little serving trays at this point. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. I'm just saying, didn't say don't work, but it's ridiculous how people let it define them. No, you're right about that, Mike. Letting it define them is totally different than just being responsible. I think if you're with your family and you're not attempting to be a provider in some way, shape, or form. Families are constructed differently. Sometimes the woman is there to be the nurturer. She can't work because the man is so busy. However your family's constructed, that's how you do it. But everyone needs to know their role and also hold their role. You know what I'm saying? All right, fourth wall, we're going to answer your question in a second. I think it's a great question. Should you cut ties? While I'm taking this food up to the family, you guys let me know if your family's unhealthy, should you cut ties? That's fourth wall's question. If your family is unhealthy, should you cut ties? That's a good question, fourth wall. I actually like that question. What do you guys think? Yes, a lot of people do find their worth in monetary value only. You're right about that. What do y'all think? Should you cut ties? I think we're at that question now. If your family's unhealthy, should you just cut ties, guys? You're right about that. A lot of people do find their value that way. You're welcome. Got it? Okay, I got to bring up one more. One more. They could be overweight but still be a good person. Overweight? What do you mean by overweight? We're not talking about their weight. We're talking about like the toxicity. Should you cut ties with a toxic family? What should you do? Nate Soflo agreed. Stairmaster for the fam. Look at Baby Queen. Baby Queen, look at the plate Baby Queen gets. You know what I'm saying? She get hooked up. This is for Baby Queen. She hooked up, bro. And she'll be like, Daddy, why didn't you give me this? I'm like, I love that you have high standards. I love that as a father, you know? All right. Now Papa can get himself together, you know? I think if you communicate with them and they refuse to grow and change and move away, may alleviate that. If it doesn't, yes. I think that I was talking to a friend about a particular text, guys. And I'm going to give the story. It goes a little something like this right here. When it's actually a biblical story. And when Mary went to go speak to Jesus, right? She walks up to, I believe they were in a cave and they were talking amongst each other, right? And when he came to the cave, all of his fellow friends or disciples said, hey, your family's outside, right? And then Jesus goes, who is my family? He said, my family is those that do the will of my Father. So what does that mean for me and you, right? I'm glad you asked, right? What it means is the people that are like-minded in terms of seeing your growth, the people that support your growth, the people that show up for you, the people that love you, they are becoming your new family, guys. Because love is what it does. If a person is your family, But if love is your family, or love is supposed to be your family, uh, you may meet people in life that don't have the same blood as you, right? But do they have love for you? Family isn't difficult. Why do you religious people always seem to have family problems? L. Belcher. Why do religious people have family problems? I hate to make you come from under a rock, but it's not just religious people. It's people all over the world, Belcher. So you may have, a healthy family, and I think that's good. My immediate family is very healthy. My wife, my kid, we're very healthy. But we're not talking about me per se. We're talking about people in the world, brother. So come on up out of the rock, man. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about meeting new brothers and sisters in Christ with his family. For sure. Like when you meet people even that you didn't grow up with, the love and support that you get from strangers sometimes can be stronger than the family you grew up with. Sometimes you have to adjust and just you know, take where the love is coming from. Now, we also have to know the definition of love. Sally, Mimi family don't care about your growth. Sometimes that's true, fourth wall. Um, Sometimes that's true. But I will say this: new families are created from people that come together in relationships. New families are created from different groups. New families are created from discipleship. A lot of things. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of different ways to go about building family if you don't currently have one. You know what I'm saying? El Belcher, did you leave or did you have a comeback for that one? Because I'm ready, baby. Let's go. I think sometimes some people can't handle your growth because they're stuck in their own cycles. True. That's another thing. Some people don't realize that they're being tolerated, um, and they may not really be celebrated. They're more so tolerated. You know what's crazy? A lot of people will come out with their chest out saying, "My family's great. I don't have any family problems," and then you hear later that they get, they can't stand each other. They were just dealing with each other for the kids. Like I think when it comes to love, I think love has to be defined. I think respect has to be defined. What is love? My definition of love, I like the good book. It says, love is patient, love is kind, uh, love does not boast, it's not proud, it's not self seeking, it remembers no past wrongs. That means we forgive each other, we love each other, we push each other, we keep going, and we keep growing. I think the formula makes everyone take accountability for themselves so that everyone can grow. That's family, guys. That's family. Jay loves Oracle. You know what I'm saying? So definitions have to be defined. When a person say they love you, man, ask them. You should ask them. Next time somebody say I love you, say what does that mean to you? See what they say. They're gonna be shocked. First of all, they're gonna be like, man, ain't nobody ever asked me that. Well, that means that you may not have a definition. You may just be using the word loosely, right? You may just like what I do for you. You know what I'm saying? That's how I feel since I came out. I feel since I came out. That's how I feel since I came out. I feel like I'm just tolerated, not loved unconditionally. That will happen, Tenez, depending on what it is. Nexia, universal digestion problem. I don't know what Nexia said. Some people can't handle their own growth. Yes, 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 yes. Hardship is part of life, right? Yep. Yes, you cannot learn without hardship, guys. Right? You can't learn without hardship. This is the difference, though. This is the difference. There are some hardships that we keep repeating that become unhealthy. You know what I'm saying? When you know better, you start to learn and then you start to do better. Because to keep going through the same thing over and over, year after year, week after week, month after month, that can become unhealthy for you. It can become unhealthy. Yes, it can. All right, let's see what we got here. We're keeping it simple. We got some scrambled eggs. I probably should have cooked a little more, but we're going to be all right. I got some lamb, spinach. Yes, love is patient. Love it. That's right, Nate SoFlo. Some hardship is self-inflicted. Yes. This is why I tell when I'm working with my clients, I ask them this. Because I am a life coach and not a therapist, I ask them this. I say, do are you ready to be honest with yourself? That's the question. That's one of the questions I ask them. Are you willing to be honest with yourself? You know what I'm saying? Because if you're willing to be honest with yourself, I can really help you. If a person doesn't want to be honest with the person in the mirror, there's nothing that I can do to help them. I can pray for them. That's all I can do. Crash out. I see you. Yes, Tanez, it will be hard. But you get what I'm saying? Being honest with yourself is a gift, guys. People look at it as something hard, but it's a gift. When you can be honest with yourself, that means you love yourself. You know what I'm saying? Being honest with yourself. If you agree with that, put a one in the chat. Being honest with yourself is indicative of self love. You know what I'm saying? Looking into eating goat, it's got a really good profile. Yeah, man. This is lamb right here. This is lamb right here. This is lamb, brother. Ground lamb. It's self love, right? See, look, my people in the Grow Gang say they agree. That's why I love them so much. Because when two or three can come together and agree, guess what? You're gonna make some magic. Now check this out. Let me tell y'all something else since y'all agree, right? I see all those ones, baby. Come on. So check this out. One of the biggest problems. I just got this on the spot. Y'all ready for it? Let me tell you one of the biggest problems in family. You ready for it? Y'all ready? I'm about to drop it. If you're ready, put a lightning bolt emoji in the chat because I'm about to drop it. I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest problems with family that most people don't talk about. Oh yeah, it just came to me. I'm ready to drop it. Hopefully I don't drop these fruits. You going to Fiji? One of the biggest problems, I see the lightning bolts come in. Fruit save. All right, y'all ready for it? Here we go. I disagree. I feel like you understand yourself, but it also helps to love yourself, but it's difficult. You disagree with what? You disagree with what? And I'll address that once you write it in there. But check it out. One of the biggest issues with family is self-love. I'll tell you why, right? I'll tell you why. Because if I don't know how to love myself, there's no way I know how to love another person. It's impossible, guys. You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. If I can't love me, how can I give love away to someone else? Tanez, sometimes it's a part of your story. And when you get older, you'll realize that what you went through was for a bigger story. But if you don't love yourself, you know what I mean? If you don't love yourself, how can you love somebody else? Can y'all help me with that? You know what I'm saying? Because how can you give away something you don't have? Sometimes you got to ask yourself if you're looking for the love in the right places. You're right about that. But I think the question is, or the statement is more directed towards if you love yourself to be able to give it away. I think people are trying to give away what they don't have. And I think that's what's causing the problem with families because people are loving through their trauma more so than loving because they have it. They're doing what they think they should do based on how others have treated them. But are they loving because they know the definition of love? They know the meaning of love. You know what I'm saying? You can't give away what you don't have. If you don't have 10 grand, you can't give it away. Chinez, you won't always be broken. If you keep going and you get around the right people, you will keep growing. But we gotta get what I'm saying? Giving away what you don't have is impossible. More people love out of pain and not out of purpose. They love because they know what pain feels like. They know what hurt feels like. So they're like, hey, as long as I do this, I'll feel better. But they're loving out of the pain that they receive from others or the lack of love that they receive from others and not because they know how to love. It's getting deep, y'all. That's the question. Are you loving out of pain or are you loving out of purpose? Are you loving out of pain or are you loving out of purpose? That's the question. Did y'all understand that? What did y'all think about that? Knowing what love is so you know what to give away or how to give it away. Right? Everyone has pain, everyone has purpose if they're still here on earth. I agree with that, Nate. The problem is, Nate, everyone has pain, but not everyone knows purpose. We getting deep, y'all. Hope y'all got y'all scuba diving gear on because we're going deep. Everyone knows pain, but not everyone knows purpose, guys. We talk about purpose here a lot. Crash out. I appreciate you. We talk about purpose here a lot because there's a big difference between knowing and just experiencing. You understand what I'm saying? Thank God for the little straw cleaners. Tanez says, can you explain the difference? Explain the difference between loving out of pain and out of purpose. Is that your question? Crash out, say he's feeling it. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, you're right about that, Nate. But not a but I said not a but. But the thing about it is knowing your purpose will give you an outlet on how to express your pain. I'll tell you what I mean by that. When everyone goes through pain, but when you don't know your purpose, you don't know how to channel your pain. So what you'll do is you'll use your pain in every situation rather than allow your pain to be a part of your purpose. I got strong in this area, right? I got strong in this area because I went through that rather than I'm only broken in this area because I went through that. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. I could either be crippled by my pain or I can be purposed by my pain. That's the question, and that's the difficulty that we all go through as humans. What is our pain doing to us? Is our pain crippling us, or is our pain being used or channeled into our purpose? I'll give you an example. When I go to the gym, right, I experience pain, right? When I go to the gym, I experience pain, but that pain is turned into purpose. You understand what I'm saying? When I go to the gym, I experience pain, muscle pain, right? I get sore, right? My lungs are taxed, right? But it is a healthy way of channeling into purpose, which is metabolic health, strength, muscular endurance, heart health, etc. The issue today is we walk around broken and we use our pain in everything, and we don't use it as a way to catapult us to growth as a human, whether it be emotionally, intellectually, physically, because we don't channel it into purpose. I hope I'm making sense. I'm not saying it's easy, yo. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it is so worth it. You know, like people don't know, like some of the stuff you went through when you were a kid, you went through those things so that you can help somebody else, and you can also help your kids to know how to be and how not to be. You didn't go through everything you went through for no reason. Smoothie, breakfast, we ready now. You didn't go through everything you went through for no reason. It's about channeling some of the negative things that you went through and channeling it to make it a positive thing. Right? What harmed you doesn't just hinder you, it made you stronger. Now you can be a help to somebody else. Now you can show your kids a better way. You know what? I didn't like how I was treated here, so I'm gonna make sure I don't treat my kids like that. Or you know what? I'm gonna make sure I don't treat my wife like that. I don't think that was healthy what I went through. Because this is the truth, y'all. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. But heal people, they help heal people. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Embrace pain. Pain is necessary for growth. If it don't challenge you, it won't change you. The difference is learning from the challenge rather than, you know, looking at it as a crutch or looking at it as, just harmful. What is this challenge teaching me? Every challenge is teaching us something, guys. Every challenge is teaching us something. That's right, crash out. Let's go, let's grow. Every challenge is teaching us something. It's really about embracing it. Now, if you're going through the same challenges over and over, you know what that means, y'all? If you're going through the same challenges over and over, you know what that means? I'm going to tell you after I say grace. Gracious Lord, thank you for the day. Thank you for the food. Bless the hands that prepared it. In Jesus' name, amen. Let's go. If you're going through the same thing over and over, it usually means you haven't learned from that particular life lesson. You know what I mean? You guys are right. Yes, hurt people does hurt. They do hurt people. But healed people heal people. Oh, yeah. Because remember, A healed person is just a hurt person that overcame, right? I want y'all to hear that. A healed person is just a hurt person that overcame. So hurt people, but healed people heal people. They teach other people how to overcome. So when I'm talking to you guys, I'm just a hurt person that overcame. So now I can teach healing. Let's go. Man, it's getting better and better, man. I can only teach you how to overcome because I've been hurt. You understand what I'm saying? That's real rap. Appreciate you, Doors. That's real rap, y'all. I can only teach people how to heal because I've been hurt myself. Nate SoFlo. That's love, bro. What's the biggest point of it is acknowledging God before you pray? Yes, I think you should be thankful for the provision. I agree. Hey, Crash Out. You got it, bro. Commander JK, what's up? So let me look at the poll vote. Yuna, how you doing? So 34% say they feel disrespected, y'all. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that, Nate. Um, we all bleed the same, family. We all go through some of the same stuff, y'all. But that's the reason why family or the family that you create is so important, right? Because if we come together, unity brings strength. And when we become strong, guess what? We become unstoppable. Oh, yeah. We become unstoppable. You understand what I'm saying? So most people say they feel disrespected. All right, let's see. I think Fourth Wall said something. What if family doesn't change from toxic behavior? Because some people think sometimes Fourth Wall, when you get of age, you have to start separating yourself and start creating your own family with God's help. Because you can't change people. You can only change how you deal with them. Hey, Tenez, you got it. It's our pleasure, Tenez. Crash Out. You're right about that. Nate Sailflow in here showing love, man. We appreciate you. I think that I'm gonna run that little beat back. It was pretty cool. But I think you have to eventually separate yourself from things that are no longer serving you. I say that a lot. When things are no longer serving you, you have to quietly and humbly work on an exit plan. Don't tell everybody your plans, y'all. Only tell people that are going to push you towards your goals. Don't tell everybody your plans. The ones that are going to push you towards your goals, you can let them in on it. But everybody else, work in silence. Make your plan. Write your plan down. Write the vision. Make it plain. Write your plan down. Start working on it. Get with somebody to hold you accountable on carrying out your plan. That way, if you deviate, you got somebody that's gonna say, "Hey, man, you got to get back on the program for your goals, right?" But start making an exit plan from all negative situations. Now, listen, this is the kicker, guys. This is the kicker. Sometimes we can be the one that needs fixing. I know everybody gonna leave from that one, but it's okay. I just need one or two. Sometimes it can be something that we're going through internally. Hey, Nate Soflo, I got you, man. Here. And get some of this too, man. Let me turn the straw. Let me turn the straw around. There you go. Sometimes we also have to look in the mirror and make sure that we're also working on ourselves. Okay? Make sure that we're not only blaming others and we're taking self-accountability. We don't want to let bitterness, we don't want bitterness to be our thinking process, because that'll hold us from healing, and it'll cause more resentment. That's right, Nate. Have you been collecting any sports cards? I mean, I have some, but I'm not like a big collector. That's right, Nate Soflo. Any progress is progress. So does anybody have any questions for me? Does anybody have any family related questions for me? I'll take a few here. Put a Q before your question, and I'll answer it to the best of my ability. Dwayne says, how do you stay focused? Focus is less about willpower and more about the elimination of distractions. You stay focused by eliminating distractions. And guess what? As you eliminate distractions, that's what causes the focus, because you've put this down, you've put that down, you stayed away from that. Sometimes you got to start fasting from the things that don't serve you. That's how you focus. And getting around focused people. Crash out. I only play certain non-copyrighted information, music rather. Do you live with your family? I live with my family, yes. My own family, the one I'm building, yes. Aurelio, what's up, Aurelio? How you doing? Nate Soflo said, oh, I definitely need fixing. Listen, we want to make sure that we're not only blaming while also not growing. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that we also are growing, even though there may be people that gave us or dealt us a bad hand. I totally get it. I know people have went through different things that have scarred them for life. I'm just your friendly reminder that even though you went through this and you went through that, there's still hope for you if you can channel your thoughts and emotions in the right direction. That's all. Chinez, that's a good thought. A lot of people need influence, but you know the problem with people, they don't humble themselves to be taught. Sometimes you have to humble yourself so that you can learn and be taught. It's hard to teach you if you think you know everything. Hello. You know what's crazy? So fourth wall, I think I agree with what you're saying. Um, they're gonna call you because they want to. Misery loves company, so they want to bring you back. You said, "Hey Siri, Nate SoFlo." You call me Siri? I'm just playing. Much love to you, man. Thank you for stopping by, bro. Thank you for adding to the conversation, man. The boy thought he was talking to Siri. So check it out. Even if you break away from unhealthy family, don't think that you're supposed to just go in a corner by yourself forever. Start building a new family. Start getting around the right people. That way you can continue growing. That way there can be an exchange. Sometimes I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Sometimes it feels like there's nobody out there that understands you. Anybody ever felt like that? Where no matter who you try to be friends with, it just doesn't work out. They don't understand you. Or then we save that. Aurelia, that's healthy. I like that. Ask your question, crash out. Oh my goodness. Okay. Fourth wall. When I think of going to see them, it's like something tells me no, maybe fear. Maybe you just don't want to deal with it, fourth wall. Like sometimes it's just you don't want to deal with the drama. I get it. We got time for that. We getting older. Tanez, that's real deep, Tanez. That's super deep, Tanez. Listen, my heart goes out to you, and I'm glad you came by the stream today. May God continue to place His arms around you. Does dogs have back pain? Crash out. I have no idea, bro. I'm sure if they hit their back hard enough, I'm sure they do. They have a back, you know? I'm sure they do. Dwayne, did I answer your question about focus? Focus is being able to manage your distractions. That's what focus is. You can tell how many distractions you have if you just check out how many background apps you got running on your phone. That'll tell you if your brain is like, okay, crash out. Travis Ramsey, welcome to the Breakfast Club. Once again, man, good to see you. Would you be wrong if you didn't see them again? Uh, as long as you're not the problem, fourth wall, as long as you've looked yourself in the mirror and you've made sure that it's not a you thing, if you don't see them again, I think it'll make them evaluate themselves. You know what I'm saying? But the best thing to do is to make the focus on working on you. Because if you work on yourself, you'll be able to build your own family. And you never know. People can change. Some people can come back and change. We all changed. I wasn't the best person before. Um, I mean, people thought I was, but I had a lot of work to do on myself. And never say never. You can move away from somebody, but make sure that you're not carrying resentment, because resentment will hold you hostage from people that you don't even talk to anymore. Cater, what's up, Cater? Crash out. I live in Florida. Crash out. You live in Florida too, Cater? Miss Eva Watson, how you doing? Tanez, you haven't stopped crying? Well, listen, Tanez, we support you and we hope that the necessary healing that you need to take place in your heart, that it happens for you. You know what I'm saying? Because love is what it does. You know what I'm saying? I'm still taking your family questions. We got 45 poll votes, so that lets me know that a lot of people are dealing with family situations. So I'm taking your poll votes or your questions. Larry Duncan, shout out to you, man. What's up? Miss Eva, we doing good. We're just coming together, talking together, and building together. That's what we're doing. Crash Out says, when did you move out? Crash Out, I was 19 when I moved out. I was 19 when I moved out, Crash Out. So drop your questions. Just put a Q before your question, or we can move on to the next family topic. Let's go. Mr. Sketcher, is any of this helping with your question that you had on the last stream? You're going to be all right, Tanez. It's all good. Yeah, so here's some of the stuff we talked about, right? We talked about the different things that make family difficult. Respect came out number one. People feel disrespected, right? Some people came in and said, it's communication. It's love. Some people said it's love. But we started to understand, right? that one of the biggest issues is we don't have the same definitions of love, respect, right? So one of the most important components that we learn, agreed, Eva. So with all of these problems, right? That's what's up, Crash Out. With all of these problems, somebody might be saying, all right, well, where do I go from here? Anybody ask that question? Man, I like that beat. We're gonna run that one back. Anybody ever ask that question? Well, where do I go from here? How do I make healthy relationship? Right? I think using that time to learn who you are is very important, right? But even before you get to that, right? Even in your everyday life, we need to start learning to the terms together, right? What do I mean by that? When it comes to love, right? Everybody has a different definition of love. Everybody has a different definition of respect. Everybody has a different definition of communication. So when we come together, we try to define the terms. When you're having a conversation with somebody, ask them to define the terms for you. What do you think love is? What do you think communication is? What do you think respect is? And when we can talk about what the terms are, now we can see where we agree or disagree. Because the relationship can't come forward if we're not defining the terms. What's up, baby? Okay. Mike, working on yourself is a lifetime process, bro. Okay, Doors, man. Feel better, Doors. We'll talk later. Working on yourself is a lifetime process. You know what I'm saying? It's a lifelong process. So when we're talking about things here, you ain't gonna figure it out overnight, but start defining terms with the people you care about, right? Find out if we think the same thing about the definition. It's healthy, y'all. I see Miss saying, I don't know what you're saying, Mike. Defining the terms. Does anybody agree with that? Do you agree? So it's a lost cause and don't put right, Areo. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't work, right? But when we define terms, like if I say what is love, everybody's going to have a different answer for the most part. So let's define the terms. If I'm getting a relationship, let me find out what you think love is. Some people only think love is sex. Hello. Some people only think love is gifts. Some people only think love is spending time together. So if we define the terms, now nobody's in the dark. This is what we talked about early. This is what we defined early. What is respect? Some people think respect is Mike, that's definitely a blanket statement, Mike. I can't say that for all of them. I mean, some, but I can't say for all of them because women can say women can say that men only think that sex is love. So it goes both ways if we do it like that. Now, it's not all of them. I can tell you for a fact that it's not all of them. I can tell you for a fact. You know what I'm saying? Baby Queen needs some water, so that's what we're doing. It can't be all of them. Okay, Crash Out. Got you, bro. It's definitely not all of them. The reality is most people don't really show who they are in relationships. Sorry for the glitch. Most people, what's up, WWE? Most people aren't honest in the relationship, and that's what causes problem later on because people are usually not honest with how they feel, what they expect. That's another thing when it comes to respect. People don't feel respected because a lot of people don't have honesty in the beginning of a relationship. They don't say what they expect from the other person. Everything, especially early in relationships, like non-family relationships, like dating. When you're in the cupcake phase, everybody's doing cupcakeish things, seeing you on your lunch break, opening the door for you. You know what I'm saying? I think love is giving you time and energy. That's definitely a form of love. Yet people don't clarify what they want for sure. I learned from a teacher one time that says you can't expect what you don't inspect, right? What you don't actually say, this is what you expect, you're not going to get it because you haven't put those out. Hey, this is what I expect, right? Because we talk about this all the time. You teach people how to treat you every day. What you allow is what they'll do, and what you don't allow is what they'll say, hey, I can't do that. Mike, you can people put on a front in the beginning though, Mike. Some people come in and they'll do a whole bunch of things, give you time, energy, everything. And then over time it'll wear off because they become common with you. Travis Ramsey, I agree. But I think you keep healthy relationships when you have foundation. It never feels real, Mike. It depends on your brokenness, Mike. I'll tell you this much. If a person is broken, anytime somebody shows them love and attention or shows them time, attention, it makes them feel like they're being loved because they're broken. So when it comes to showing somebody love or feeling like you're loved, it all depends on where your emotional state is and where your mental state is. I know some people that as soon as somebody tells them that they love them, they fall like into this ambiance of euphoria. You just got to say the L word. Oh my goodness, I feel so loved. Kane Cooper, I see you. What's up? We need to be clear of what we want. That's right, Areo. That's right. Tanez says, I know some people that have been together for a long time. Things have changed after years of being together. I wonder why it's changed. Tanez, a lot of times it changes because people are not honest with what they want. So they'll deal with what they want, what they don't want in order to keep the peace, but they're not really keeping peace. They're just preserving themselves. Patient and kind friends taught me I can be loved and adjust myself to love them back. That's right. That's right. Honeymoon phase is over. That's right. But if we're honest, we have a solid foundation in our relationship. I know everybody's different, but I believe that my relationship should be built on God. And for me, that is a solid foundation. So I can build off of that. And guess what? If I fall to the left, fall to the right, or she falls to the left, fall to the right, we have a solid foundation to say, hey, we're faltering a little bit. Let's realign ourselves. But that's something that we set from day one, or you can set it up, day 300. But I think foundations should be set day one. If you think that foundation can be money or sex, you're going to always be in the dating pool and never be the catch. Hello. Honeymoon phase is over. Dating is crazy right now. You don't bother. Hey, sometimes you just got to date the weights for now, Trav, and keep building you. You know what I mean? Keep building you. That's right. Fourth wall. I'm not sure which one, what I said that you want me to repeat. I'm not sure what I said that you want me to repeat. Once your personal standards are high, you won't even be attracted to distraction. That's right. That's right. This is why before you get into another relationship, make sure that you are healed to enter into that new relationship. Why? Because if you don't heal, you're going to love that person out of pain and not out of purpose. You know what I'm saying? Of course I don't, Mike. Mike, if you had a daughter, would you want your daughter to work for a pimp? Yeah, fourth wall. You'll always be in the dating pool if you always believe that everyone that says they love you just because they say it, just because they show you some nice things early. Call you, stay on the phone, fall asleep, sleeping on the phone together. I love you, baby. Oh my goodness, I'm bringing you breakfast. Oh my goodness, I'm calling you on your lunch break. But you don't have a foundation. They just tell you they love you and they show you, they give you stuff. You're going to always be dating because it's not going to work. No foundation in the relationship. You're going to always be dating. Oh my God, I can't find a good man. You can't find a good man because you're not focusing on being a good woman or growing into a good woman. Oh my goodness, I can't find a good girl. Maybe it's time to work on yourself to be a good man so that when a good woman comes, you're ready. A lot of us are not ready for it, right? Some of us know we got, why y'all making me go here? Some of us know that we got faithful problems, yet we say we can't find a good woman. If you find a good woman, you're going to mess her up because you don't know how to be faithful. Hello. If you know you can't be faithful yet, you're not ready for a relationship. I have lunch dates with my Bible now, a cup of tea sandwich and a few listen, that's the best lunch you're going to have because that lunch won't leave you or forsake you. Let's go. Mike, nah, I don't operate like that, bro. I know that that's somebody's daughters. That's somebody's daughter. And I don't I don't think that that's good. Because you got to remember, It may be funny to you now, but if you ever have a daughter, it wouldn't be funny then. And that's how I look at it. We can't say no to something when it's only when we're on the wrong end of it. Hello. You can't only dislike something when you're on the wrong end of it. You either like it or you don't. Does that make sense? A lot of people dislike something when it hurts them. Anybody that exposes another human being doesn't have self love. There you go. Look at Tenez talking straight physics. Physics, good stuff. Tenez, let me go ahead and pin you up there. It's your moment. You know what I'm saying? Their fathers have already disowned them, don't you think? Mike, if their fathers disown them, I'm not going to be the next person at fault for breaking that woman down even the more. You got to have conscience, y'all. This is another thing. You can't be an animal. Even animals look after each other more than humans do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's okay with OnlyFans until their mom is on OnlyFans. Then they got a problem with it. If you like OnlyFans, don't be mad with mama on there. Hello. Let me say that for a YouTube short, because that's good. If you like OnlyFans, don't be mad when we clicking on our favorite site and mama show up there with her chest out. Don't be mad. Hello. You know what I'm saying? Do it. We have it's almost like we are numbed to sex and we're also numb to violence, pain, death. We're numb to it. So it's easy for people to come on there and sell that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Travis, remember, that's funny, right? Ain't it? If you watch it, don't be mad when you click it and your old lady on there with her chest out, or mama. Right? Some people only want justice when they're on the wrong end of it. Now they mad at mama. Mama, why are you on there? Why you was clicking on it, brother? Hello. Mama was just trying to make a profit, like y'all say. You understand? Mama was just trying to make a couple extra dollars. But that's the thing. We only care about justice when we're on the wrong side of it. You either care about justice, you care about what's right, or you don't. And you stick with that. No harm, no foul. It's a free, free country. Or I know everybody's at somewhere else, but it's free. Supply and demand, stop demanding, they won't supply. Next, they said that blankety blank hub is the most visited site on all of the interweb. So that's the problem. What's up, Nessa? The problem is we have become desensitized to love and relationship. So I don't really need love because I can just go to a site. You bench press what? I don't need love. I could just go to a site, y'all. I could just click it. Now they got the virtual thing. What they got, a VR? You can start dating on your VR. Relationships are so jacked up because now we have so many alternatives for true relationships. We have alternatives now, right? I can. Did you got anybody see the guy that was dating the mannequin? He had like a blow up doll, and that was his wife. Anybody ever seen that? The blow up doll was his wife or his girlfriend. Fourth wall, we agree. We totally agree. We got to redefine love, y'all. When you redefine love, now you can know what it is. You can get some within your heart and you can give it away. That's it. Yeah, you have seen it. The guy was totally in love with the blow up doll. Listen, I'm pretty reasonable. But a blow up doll? Andrew Grimmer, what's up? But that's why we got to define the terms, man. Listen, when people say they love you, you should start asking them, what do you mean by that? They might pass out. They might be like, oh my goodness, I never heard that. I do that kind of stuff with people, man. Somebody came up to me the other day. They're like, man, how have you been? I said, man, I'm not doing too good, man. I need 10 grand and I also need to take out a loan, bro. You got me? He was like, oh no, bro. I was just playing with him. But when people say how you doing, I want to see if he really wanted to know. I just, I want to see if he really wanted to know how I was doing. He got out the way real fast. Mike says some people say they love you just to use you. That's right. You're right about that. You're right about that. But that's why, Mike, I think we have to ask questions. And, we have to ask questions to define the terms because the word love is thrown around everywhere. Well, I'm just curious to see how you respond. How would you feel if your son married a video game? I would just be in my room just shedding tears. If he married a video, how would he marry a video game? What do you mean by marrying a video game? I'm not understanding. I didn't even know you could do that. But defining terms, guys. Defining terms. What is love? When you talk, this is when you talk to people. What is love? What is relationship? What is respect? These are the conversations y'all should be having. Not if you like Kendrick or Drake. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about what Cardi B's doing. We're talking about, are you a fan of Kendrick and Drake? Why y'all not talking about what is the true definition of love and respect, man? There's a real guy out there that married a video game. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. We're talking about favorite colors, but not life. That's what I'm trying to say. We're talking about our favorite podcast, but we're not talking about the true meaning of respect. Then when you get disrespected, you're like, yo, I feel disrespected. Well, you never defined the term of respect. You never defined that term. You understand what I'm saying? Gamer, what up, gamer? You never defined the term respect. So how are you going to expect respect if you never defined it? I don't think Carly Man Simpson and Angie, a lot of them have become like that because people have forced their views upon them. Mike, you have a point there. You do have a point, Mike. Yeah, you don't know what the person's been through. So I agree with that. I agree with that. You respect me, a gamer. Much respect back to you. But that's the question that we need to be having, y'all. You know what it is? We distract ourselves with things to get rid of the hard questions because we just want euphoria. We just want to be euphoric. Oh my goodness, my favorite color is pink. Well, you need to find out what respect is, and you guys need to also have that conversation so that your favorite color stays pink and not red and blue. Woo, woo. You know what I'm saying? That's why discernment is important. Unless we are too blind. Yeah, there you go, Tenez. I agree with that. Discernment, conversation. What about conversation? We just talked about communication. Communication. What about communication, conversation? What about that? What are we talking about? If you look on any social media outlet, what are people talking about? Are they talking about anything that makes relationships better as a whole? Some people are, but as a whole, you can go anywhere and find all types of garbage. There's more garbage than there is goodness. So when we go on a date, guess what you asking me? Hey, bro. Hey, what's your favorite? What's your favorite animal? Are you on Kendrick or Drake's side? Which side you rocking with? Did you see the new BBL that got on did you see the new BBL that Cardi B got? Man, did you see the mommy makeover that she got? Man, what do you think about the mansion that such and such bought? What do you bring to the table? I like that question. Did you see did you see Lil Wayne's new car? Man, I think that car is fire, man. Meanwhile, you have no idea what the other person defines as love, respect, or family. You know their favorite color though. Oh yeah, you know that. You know they're Team Drake, but you have no idea what they bring to the table. It's just food for thought, guys. It's food for thought. If you ask a girl what they bring to the table and she say she is the table, run and run fast. That's right. Run and run fast is right. Everybody must bring something to the table, no matter what. That's relationship, right? Any more questions for your boy, man? Any more questions? We've been talking about family, relationships. It looks like there's 52 poll votes, and communication has took the lead, guys. Communication has ran away with the lead. It was respect, and now it's communication. It was respect, but now it's communication. So, do you agree? Type of one in the chat if you think out of those poll votes that communication is the biggest reasons why families are difficult, or if you think respect, type of two, if respect is the reason why families are difficult. A one if you think it's communication, a two if you think it's respect. Let's see what the people say. Travis Ramsey says communication. Netchi Sketch says respect. We 50-50 so far. Mike says communication. What if communication is a problem due to the lack of respect? And what if there's a lack of respect due to bad communication? Can that be possible? Communication can lead to a lack of respect. There you go. But can't a lack of respect lead to bad communication? Both can be true, right? You see what I'm saying? So what does that mean, guys? You know what it means? We need to approach the situation with grace. Try to put your emotions to the side and be more logical and ask the defining questions. The good book says, if it's possible, be at peace with all men, if it's possible. But that's indicative of the fact that it's not always possible. So sometimes you have to move on so that you can keep going and so that you can keep growing. That's the reality, guys. Keep going, keep growing, and define the terms, right? All the distractions, you know, distractions come and go, guys. We spent too much time looking at the image, how others look. You're right. But we waste time instead of investing in reflection. There you go. I like that. I like that. I like that. If you communicate, you don't know something, you don't like something to someone and they keep doing it, maybe it's not. Yeah, Trav. I think that we have to evaluate what they're doing. Um, is what they're doing bad, or is it something I just don't like? And that's where, see, Travis, that's where the foundation comes in. What if I think I'm right and you think you're right? What do we have? I'm going to ask you guys a question. The viewer, this is your question for you guys from me. What if I think I'm right about communication and you think you're right about communication? What can define that, or what foundation do I have built in when we both think we're right? Where can we go together? If you think you're right, I think I'm right. Where can we go together to find out who's actually right? I used to get frustrated with friends communicating, but until I respected their level of communication, they were accustomed to and adjusted my approach. There you go. There you go. There you go. Uh, when both parties think they're right, where can you go? Mike says, then I think it's over. It's possible. Depends on your foundation, Mike. What is the foundation of relationship, Mike? It's communication. So you're saying when the communication's over, okay. So if we both think we're right, Mike, and we're not leaving our stance, you're saying the relationship's over. I take it that you're single, Mike. I take it that you're single. Correct me if I'm wrong. I totally think people can disagree about things and still be great friends and family. We just have to respect. I agree with that. Agree to disagree. I agree. Agree to disagree. Respect and respect that. You can still have a relationship if you're not still not changing each other's mind. I agree, right? I guess my question is more so geared to something that's essential for the relationship, not something. Everything can't be agree to disagree. I agree with that. That we should agree to disagree on non-essential subjects. But if a subject is essential, what do we do if we disagree on an essential subject? Essential subjects. What about the essentials, guys? You understand what I'm saying? I think that's more so the where I'm trying to go with it. If he's essential, life values non-negotiable. There you go. But Nechi, what if you're in a relationship with them and you disagree within the relationship? If you're in the relationship already, both parties think they're right. What do we do? You have to meet in the middle. All right. What does that mean? I think at that point, there has to be something in the middle that can teach both of us. And this is only essential stuff. This is not non-essential. If it's non-essential, it is. But for the essential stuff, compromise. But you can't compromise on everything. Right. So what if it's something? What if it's something that is? I may have to give you guys an example. I may have to do that. I may have to give you all an example. Sometimes you have to be open to understanding why they value what they do. True. But what if we just disagree? Sure, like that, Mike. What if we disagree on polygamy versus monogamy? Sure, that's a good one. I had a great time here. I'm going to get some rest. Hey, Tenez, thank you for stopping by, Tenez. God bless you too. We'll see you on the next one, Tenez. Let's go. It affects your beliefs and growth, and you have to separate. Well, Netch, before we separate, is there a way that we can go to find out what the truth is about what we believe? Why do we go from disagreement to separation versus disagreement to wise counsel? And then if we get wise counsel, then we separate. If we get wise counsel and it still doesn't work, then we separate. But if we're disagreeing, we should be able to talk that out. We should be able to talk it out, pray it out, walk it out. If that doesn't work, then it may be best to separate. But we can't go from disagreement till it's over. Some people just can't be reasoned with, sadly. I agree. I'm talking about as if you're in a relationship with somebody already. I agree, Kunal. Not saying you have to always be right. True. That's what's up, gaming with Sean. Disagreement usually takes time to establish in relationship. Disagreement usually takes time to establish in relationship. So Nechi, great question. I think if let's use an example. Let's say you are a believer. Let's say you are a believer. I'm gonna use that as an example. If you're a believer, if you have a certain worldview, you guys should be able to go back to your worldview and see who's right and who's wrong about the belief or the disagreement. I think when there's disagreements, if you have a certain worldview, you should be able to go back to your worldview and say, hey, we can see who's falling to the left or to the right in terms of how they believe. Or you may go back to it and say, you know what, you were right about this point and you were right about that point. We had different points that we were right about. And now we can come up to a certain conclusion. That's why I always say what you believe has a lot to do with your relationship foundation. If you don't have any morals, you don't believe in morality, then you don't really have, I would say, like a grid to say, hey, this is right or this is wrong. If you don't believe in right or wrong, I mean, it's a free for all. It's Call of Duty in real life. Robert Lloyd Jr., what's up, man? How you doing? Robert Lloyd, you came toward the back end of a 2-hour stream, bro. We've been talking on here for a minute, man. Well, how you doing today, Robert Lloyd? Robert Lloyd, you may want to consider checking out the Discord group. Link is in the description. That way, when we're not on live, we're still communicating with others in there. You may want to check it out because you've been around here for a while. No, you're good, bro. It happens, man. It happens. It totally happens. I totally get it. Mike says, I've had relationships like this where we disagree on fundamentals and usually assign incompatibility. Mike, that is exactly right. If you got you, Robert Lloyd, if you disagree on the fundamentals, you're probably not going to make it. You got it, gaming, for sure. Yes, if you disagree on the fundamentals, you can't build off no fundamentals. I mean, what are you building on if you don't have fundamentals? The fundamentals are the foundation. So if you don't have the fundamentals, you don't have foundation, it's not going to work because you can't build on nothing. You can't build on nothing. Yeah, like now, I wouldn't consider a guy who wouldn't lead me to God. Standards and values matter. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. See what I'm saying? And that's why I think defining the terms are important. So we learned a lot today. We learned that family is hard due to communication, due to a lack of respect. But we also learned that that's just relationships in general. If you don't have respect for one another, you're not going to thrive together. Come on, y'all. If we're not communicating, we're not going to thrive together. Come on. It's part of fundamentals, right? It's going to be a hard fight. Robert Lord, make sure you train hard, man. Stay focused, limit the distractions, and keep going and growing, baby. But yeah, we learned that we got to define the terms if we really want to have effective relationship. What do you believe love is? What do you believe respect is? What do you believe value is? Have those conversations. Give the Kendrick and Drake thing a rest. Give Cardi B and Sexy Red, give them a rest and start to have real conversations with the people you care about. It'll take you a long way, guys. But I just want to say thank you guys for coming to the Breakfast Club, where we eat breakfast, but we also eat wisdom. I appreciate all y'all stopping by. I will see you guys, my Discord family. I'll see some of y'all in Discord. But make sure you guys hit that like button. If you're new, hit that sub button. I appreciate y'all. And remember, no matter what you're facing, no matter what you're going through, look yourself in the mirror and you tell yourself, let's go, let's grow. Let's go, let's grow. I see y'all in Discord. I love y'all. I see you on the next one. Salute.